So check this out. James Gunn explains how the DCU is different to the MCU. He said, it really is a lot more to me what the Game of Thrones world is like, or what the Star Wars is like, or what Star Wars is like, because we're building a universe and then picking out little pieces of it and telling individual stories from the universe. So what are you saying, in other words, that this isn't going to be a big connected storyline like the MCU, to where every single situation has to kind of feed off of each other, how everything is going to point towards the same thing? So like Star Wars and Game of Thrones, this is a huge world with a bunch of characters and a bunch of history. Like we know, there's like 200 and something years worth of history. So here's an example of how this works. Superman movie is in Metropolis. Green Lantern movie could be in space. Batman movie could be in Gotham. But they're all a part of the same timeline. And just like Game of Thrones, right? How there's politics in King's Landing, battles beyond the wall, and if we're going to tap into the magical side with the White Walkers, the DCU is going to do the same thing where they're mixing tones and genres in the same universe. An example would be like Swamp Thing and Booster Gold, two different ends of the spectrum. Also, this could really have James Gunn build out the DCU lore in a different way, where he can build the DCU lore with layers of just history and mythology going on, and not just doing like the hero and villain of the movie stories. So like we're talking about like the Themyscira and Krypton. Those are both deep histories and deep, histories of peoples, like what the Jedi are, the Star Wars. But it also shows, right, how both of, the characters, right, like a Superman or the Wonder Woman, how they still impact the world that they're in the same way that the Jedi do in Star Wars. And this is probably the greatest thing if done right, what this can mean. Instead of the need to watch everything, fans can jump anywhere and understand what's going on in the movies. So an example would be like the Green Lantern facing against some cosmic threat, right? Could be the same villain that Superman faces a few movies down the line. And even though they might face the same villain, right, both projects still stand on their own in a way. I'm trying to find a way to explain that. So yes, the DCU is a living universe, right? But there's multiple stories happening at once, with some stories connecting and some not directly connecting.